Hi, I'm Mr. Durling. Just telling you why I picked this spot for this week's lesson. If you look behind me, the main reason is because of the bridge. It's a truss bridge, and we were doing the bridge building this week with the paper bridges. But I'll also give you a quick 2-minute history lesson. I grew up not far from here. This is called Washington Crossing State Park in New Jersey. I'm on the New Jersey side right here. Behind me, you see the Delaware River. That's what the bridge goes across. And on the other side is Pennsylvania. Okay, so you're seeing two states at once. The reason why this place is famous is because George Washington crossed the river and did a sneak attack on the British in 1776 on Christmas night. What was going on? Okay, George Washington wasn't the president yet. We were still about 8 years before we were officially a country with a president. George Washington had his troops hidden over on the other side, and he came across in a raft, and I'll show you that in a second. It was like not a raft, it was a wooden raft, but he had horses on it. There's a famous picture in the history books if you Google it. Just do George Washington crossing the Delaware. So what was going on in history was the colonists, which is George Washington, our side, were losing battle after battle after battle against a well-trained British army, and a lot of people were deflated and didn't think we were going to win the war at this point. But on Christmas, nobody thought the British, even the British that were here thousands of miles away, they were stationed in Trenton, which is down the road a few miles. They were celebrating Christmas, so they never thought anybody would attack them. So George Washington had a sneak attack, a surprise, on Christmas night. He brought his troops across the river from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, and then they all walked down to Trenton and did a sneak attack, killed or wounded 100 British troops, and they captured 900 of them. And then New Year's Day, 1777, they marched the 900 troops through Philadelphia to show that we won the battle, and it was considered the turning point of the American Revolution. So if that didn't happen, who knows what our country would be today. Let me just take you over and show you the other two parts. Okay, so I'm standing at the marker. Over across is still Pennsylvania. That's the Delaware River. The troops landed here with George Washington. He's actually right here in the picture. And the boat looks like it's very flat, and I'll show you a replica, which is an exact copy of what they came across in. It's different than the history books. We'll show you a picture. It looks like a canoe. That's off. Whoever painted the picture, they really look like this. And if you see here, it says December 25th and 26th. Christmas night, 1776. It's because after midnight, the date changed, and this was a surprise attack on Christmas night. Late, it went past midnight. Okay, and then I just want to show you over here what the raft looked like, the wooden raft. It's called a Durham ferry boat. And just so you can see, it was the turning point of the American Revolution. And if you look up here, let me show you. That's not the exact one that he came across in, but they built, like I said, a replica, which is an exact copy. Okay. All right, and that's your mini history lesson for today of why I chose this spot.